Hi there, this is Roland for the third video, I think, in my journey for online zero to hero. Today, I wanted to go through a little bit about goal setting. So, I've prepared a little bit of a presentation. Apologies, my PowerPoint skills are about as much as probably my ability to do videos, to be honest. So, that's the sort of level that we can expect today. So, um, just moving on, as I talked about yesterday, I like to conduct things using SMART goals. And if you just want to take a screenshot of something or just look on Google, this is just a quick recap in terms of what SMART goals are. So whenever I try and do goals or objectives, I try and make them as smart as possible. Um, because I'm specifically looking at ways of making money online, it's always going to be attainable, it's always going to be relevant, and it should be pretty specific as well because, they are very targeted in terms of what I want to do and when I want to do them by. Um, so I've broken these up into basically what is my near-term goals, so short-term goals, which I want to achieve in the next 3 months, and then some slightly longer goals, which are sort of the 6 month, looking at a year's worth, and then looking further through, to what the bigger goal is and what I would view success as. So everything in this it builds up to an outcome, which my outcome very much wants to be that I want to de-risk my life effectively, and ensure that I've got the ability to do the things that I want to do, whatever that may be. But everything that I do here is very much going to be deliverables around that. So, very much I'm targeted on January. Bear in mind we're on the 6th of January at the moment. Um, these are my personal goals. Everybody else is going to be different. Some of these, I don't quite know whether they're going to be attainable or not. I will make that caveat because, and if you wanted to copy these goals as well, it may be that they're not attainable to you, or you'll be thinking, why have you got that in March? Why isn't that in January? Why can do that in January? Everybody's experience is going to be different, and obviously, how much work you want to dedicate to things will ultimately dictate the level of success. Okay, simple as that. So what is a reasonable attainable goal for me may not be attainable for you because you're working 14 hours a day and I've only got half an hour to dedicate to things. I've probably got an hour a day which I want to dedicate, see how things go. So, I'd probably do more than an hour because I'm doing a couple of video courses as well. So at the moment, I'm currently looking to upload 15 videos by the end of January. And I think that's pretty attainable. I mean, it's not too far out. I mean, bearing in mind that this is number three, and we've still got quite a few days left of January to go, and I want to try and do one a day. Um, Certainly, my income and expense report I want to go through just to show what I'm sort of spending money on, and how much it costs to actually set up this business, and this is the way I'm setting it up. So again, other people's experiences could be very different. So very much I want to complete that business course by the end of this month as well. Very important for me to do so. So, as I said, it's really important to understand where you are and what you're trying to do. But, these I think are relatively easy to complete. So, I've also got some stretch goals, which by the end of January, I would prefer to have uploaded 20 videos. And of course, this is all content that I'm providing and doing, since my time that it's taking. Um, I, I want to complete the business case course, that's pretty reasonable. And I'm also currently doing a YouTube course as well. So, hopefully over time you'll see the improvement in the quality of the videos because I want to try and make them as exciting and motivational as possible and informative. At the moment, I've sort of got a white wall and a computer, and that's it, and a very white desktop at the moment doing a PowerPoint presentation. Um, However, looking further on, by the end of February, I want to try and release one marketing campaign. And if I don't complete the YouTube course, then that's definitely going to be by the end of February that should be completed. And then a total of 30 videos to be uploaded. So that works out as 15 videos per month, which again, I think is pretty reasonable. I think the biggest issue that I'll probably have is making sure that I've got all the content there and making whatever I release, something which is interesting to everyone. And hopefully they will be. But I can't guarantee everything like that. There's far better people out there who could do this. Bear in mind that this is my journey, and it's something that hopefully I think you'll take some value on away from, even if it's just simply this is how long it took Roland to do. So stretch goals for February are going to be, upping the amount of marketing campaigns that I do, because the more marketing campaigns you do, the more likely that you're going to sell more stuff, the bigger your list is going to be, and basically, that's the potential of making money at the end of the day. Likewise, I probably want to up the amount of videos that I upload through February. So, bearing in mind that we're looking at 15 by the end of January, 20 at a stretch, 45. It's hopefully I'm going to be getting a little bit more in the swing of things, and it should be easier to sort of create the content and release it. So by February we should be in a pretty good position of releasing lots of videos. Lots of opportunity for people to sign up to the list. And it is going to be an informative list. I want to release some stuff through that list as well. It's not just going to be me trying to sell stuff to everybody all the time. I don't think that that's very valuable to anyone. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit more content in terms of how I'm getting on and how I'm feeling, more so than what we're doing on the videos. I'm probably more of a visual learner, and I like to read things rather than look at it on video. I'd rather read it than have it on video. But that's my preferred way of learning. So I want to try and make sure that I cover as many bases and ensure that people learn in the best way that suits them. So by the end of March, I want to write an ebook. I want to be able to release some valuable content to people. And at this point, I'm hoping to up the amount of marketing campaigns I'm doing to at least one a week. And that's not necessarily off one list. I'm probably looking at creating a number of different lists depending on where the traffic is coming from. So the YouTube list, that I've got the link in the description of the video. Where that's coming from will probably be a different list to somebody who signs up through the website, or where there's direct paid ads, for instance, all that kind of stuff. So depending on where it comes from, and not to mention the fact that there'll be different niches that I'll be looking at as well, and from my own experience as well. So it's not I'm just picking anything and thinking let's flog some stuff to people. That's not what I'm about. It's about knowing what I know, assessing things, doing product reviews, etc., making sure that information is going to be valuable to somebody who's looking at that and picking it up and thinking, is this worth it? So stretch goals by the end of March. I think through March that ebook will be written. There's nothing to stretch on that other than maybe writing another one, but I doubt I'll be wanting to write 2 ebooks in 1 month. But what I'll probably would be looking at is releasing 6 marketing campaigns. So it's effectively 1.5 as opposed to 1 campaign each week. I do think all those are very, very doable. Now that takes us up to the end of Q1, quarter one. So looking slightly ahead, and this is going to be more of the total goals and actions for 2023. By the end of June, I would be wanting to make about $50 per month, and I say dollars because generally the affiliate marketing campaign, the affiliates tend to work in dollars, but I've found, as opposed to pounds. But I mean that's really beside the point. I mean, for a UK person myself, generally whatever I buy is going to be in dollars anyway, unless it's a UK specific. Okay, US dollars seems to be more of the currency of the world. So if you want to buy something from overseas, a digital book or some sort of product from China, if you're going to Alibaba Express or something, then it's probably going to be in US dollars rather than GBP. So that don't worry about the currency per se. But $50 a month should be reasonable. Now, you're probably thinking, well, after 6 months' work, only getting up to $50 per month, really. But I'm talking about profit here. It's not about revenue. So it's not about just making lots and lots of sales and, have breaking even. This should be starting to come from the back end where we should be making all our profits. So, the idea is we sign people up, even if it's through paid ads, even if we're giving some free stuff away that potentially costs money, after all that's done, I'd like to be making $50 per month as profit. And again, that's not huge sums, but I want to be really, really realistic. I'm not going to be promising that I want to be making, hundreds of thousands of dollars per day because this is what we're doing and, it's going to happen overnight. This is a realistic time scale that I'm looking at, which I think is attainable. So as a stretch target, I'd probably want to be doubling that. Again, because these are pretty small numbers, the likelihood is that 1 month, say in August, I could make nothing. In September, it could be $200. Just for the ebb and flow of how things go and how you build a list. I mean, basically, the way that it's sort of looked at is that if you've got a person on your list, they should be good for making $1 per month. So extrapolating that out, $100 per month would mean that I would have a list of 100 people. And that is 100 real life people. It's not a case about having 100 people on the list because you've gone to Fiverr or something, Fiverr.com, and ask somebody to get people to put on your list because you've got no idea whether they're actually real email addresses, how many of those are bounce backs, or simply how many of your emails are going into an email box that's never looked at and it's just there as a spam folder basically. So this is organic, real people signing up to my email lists so that I could contact them and do an upsell further on down the line. Okay, and hopefully they will be buying, and hopefully you will be buying because you'll see value that I am giving you. Okay, so it's not just a case of, oh, do you know what? I expect to make $100 a month because guess what? I expect you to buy $100 of stuff per month. That's absolutely not what it is. It's a case of having good things to say, have you thought about this? Okay, I want to be ethical, I want to be moral. If you're looking at these course, the videos that I'm doing, then ultimately you want to be able to know that the content that I'm providing, it's doing something, and I'll be showing you what I'm making, what I'm spending, so you'll have a really good idea of actually how does this all fit together. And $100 a month, is it reasonable? Should I be looking at 10 grand a month after looking at this for a couple of weeks? No. It's going to be a case of over time, this is what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to build a long-term business, and 6 months in business is absolutely nothing. Okay, it's about the long haul here. So just looking by the end of December, I do expect a sort of a, a curve which will grow quite rapidly because once you start getting more people, it expands and it grows and it becomes a little bit exponential. So as I do more videos for YouTube, I'm expecting to get some subscribers on there. A proportion of those will sign up to the emails. Some people just want to take what I say here and don't worry about the email list. That's great. That's fine. Take as much information as you can from me. And as I say, even if it's just avoiding my mistakes and my pitfalls, I'd be over the moon if I could help one person, you know, just not make a stupid mistake like I am bound to do. Okay, so feel free. This is not a case of I'm trying to push that you've got to do that. It's simply, I'm providing this for accountability for me, and secondly, so people can learn. That's effectively what it is. Really quite simple. Again, it's a similar thing. If I could double that, and have 2 grand profit per month, I do think it's reasonable. I think it's probably attainable. Stretch though, 2 grand per month going into 2024 would be absolutely stunningly amazing. And I would love it if we hit that out of the park and do better. But do you know what? I want to be trying to be somewhat realistic. Um, going from $50 to $1,000 in 6 months, I think could happen. But again, these are goals that I'm striving for. It doesn't necessarily mean to say that I'm expecting to meet them, but this is the target I've set for myself. And do you know what? This would be a measure of success for 2023 if I could be profiting $1,000 per month, which means ultimately that I've gone from this side um, from $50, 50 people on the list effectively, up to 1,000 people on the list. But I am very much going to be learning as we go through this as well. So as my learning improves and increases over time, I would expect to see that list grow in line with what I learn. So moving on, what we're looking at is longer term goals. So this is probably for the end of 2024. I absolutely want to be building a list of up to 10,000 people. As I say, when I say a list, it means whether that's one list or whether it's five lists with sort of 2,000 people on it, whatever it may be. Um, I'm comfortable either way. To be honest, I'm not going to put any sort of limit on how many lists that I may need because I just don't know at the moment. Remember, this is the very, very beginning. I'm still building that business plan. So, very much a case of we'll see what happens over time. So, going back to that $1 per opt-in on a list, that would equate to $10,000 per month, and whether that's 2024, 2025, or whether it's 2023, hopefully, that'd be wonderful. But that's really the sort of timescales and the magnitude that I'm sort of looking for. And then, very much the longer term goal is to start a specific procurement consultancy. So, as I said in the first video, um, my specialty is procurement. I'm in a senior management position at the moment, head of procurement, and I want to build on that. I mean, I've done contracting before. I've had my own business in procurement, but it was very much going into businesses and helping them out for short-term contracts. And what's wonderful with that is you get to do what you want when you want to do it, and you are your own boss. But a specific procurement consultancy, what I really want to try and do is build out some events, so 3-day specialist events, or do some master classes. So do half a day or a day's worth of masterclass around specific subjects, or a couple of subjects per day, per half day, and do something brilliant, and get people excited about procurement. And I have got a few ideas about that, and definitely want to do a procurement ebook. That's certainly something I want to do, but that's very much longer term goal because that's going to be sort of more my passion in terms of business. But what I really want to focus on is learning the skills to be able to do that for myself rather than selling other people's stuff. But that will come in time. And I want to fully built front end at the moment. We'll look at the back end over there. So that's very much my goals and actions for 2023. I hope that's been some use to you to sort of build up how you want to structure your own goals. And yeah, as I say, there'll be more videos upcoming. So please feel free to check out the videos. Um, if you haven't checked out those already, it'll just give you a little bit more context to what I'm talking about. Please subscribe. Please sign up to the mailing list as well. And there is going to be loads of value content in there as well. I want to really make a good community here. So yeah. Please feel free to comment. I'll try and answer as many comments as I can. Certainly in the early days of this YouTube channel, it's going to be very easy. Hopefully, in a couple of years' time, it's going to be very, very difficult because there'll be so many comments. But let's see how we get on with that. Always be optimist. So, yeah, I hope that's been of some use to you. And I'm going to sign off the video here and look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you very much.